This week on The Splash, we take a look back at our favorite stories of 2017. Then we look back at many of our area's interesting people. And later, we take a moment to thank those who inspire us. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Welcome to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monin, and as always, thank you for joining us. Another year has passed, and we have once again captured the fun, friendship, and good deeds of the greater West Bloomfield community. We begin this week by taking a look back at some of our best stories of 2017.
The new tagline is the nature of community. And the reason we chose that is for two things. The words nature and community are something that really resonate with us. Nature because that's one of our driving forces. We offer a lot of nature education programs. We do a lot of invasive species work. So that's something that is really one of our driving forces. And then community. That's one of our main goals, is to just bring people together, give them a sense of community. Parks are a great gathering place for residents, so the nature of community just really felt like it summarized everything in just a few short words.
The surveyors who placed this post in the ground 2 centuries ago were led by a man named Joseph Wampler, who took a small group of men with him to trek through this uneven and at times treacherous landscape. They started on March 14, 1817, and surprisingly ended their journey less than a month later.
The surveyors were paid very little, and they obviously had lust and love for their work. And the fact that they were able to accomplish what they did with primitive instruments and without technology that we have today shows that it was a very impressive accomplishment.
Gino's pre-Dream Cruise car show offers up fun, entertainment, and something extra that makes showing a car so enjoyable.
Well, we do like the best paint job, Gino's favorite, the show favorite. We used to have the best car to take to a drive-in movie, best one to cruise Woodward on, just different things like that, But it's kind of like a fun thing, but we provide dash plaques for all the cars that show up.
The Earth Club students have taken on 100% of the work going into the project and in a multitude of academic areas.
It's all student-driven, like the name says. It's student-driven because students, they write grants. We apply for grants. We fundraise on our own. We manage all social media aspects. Not only do we do that, we contact sponsors. We do measurements for like where the solar array would be located, what angle of a tilt the solar array should be to produce the most energy.
$7.2 million project. We're totally reconstructing Orchard Lake Road from between Northwestern Highway to just south of Maple Road, and tearing out the existing 5-lane road that's there and reconstructing it as a divided 4-lane concrete boulevard, so it'll have a grassy median and turnaround locations in it.
Members of the community, including residents, West Bloomfield Township, and Road Commission for Oakland County officials, and our very own 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM, came together recently to celebrate a milestone in greater West Bloomfield history. An example of our local businesses, government, and residents coming together to make a better West Bloomfield for our future generations, and to begin a new era on Orchard Lake Boulevard.
You can watch every story from The Splash anytime by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/on-demand. One of our favorite aspects about making The Splash is being able to interact with all of the people that live, work, and visit greater West Bloomfield. This year, we spoke to many interesting people in our area on Sidewalk Talk, and here are some of our favorite topics and answers. You have to give up one of these things for a week, taking a shower or bathing, or the internet. Which one would you want to give up and why?
The internet, because you can't walk around stinking. That's ew.
Oh, I would give up the internet. I'm sorry. I love the internet, but I like to be clean, so.
The internet, because you got to stay clean.
I give up the internet for sure, yeah. Why? Because that would just drive me nuts to be dirty. That's why.
If you could eat only one meal from a local restaurant for the rest of your life, what would the meal be and what would the restaurant be?
Potentially either a filet or macaroni and cheese. And I like Spazzitos.
Well, my favorite food is fish, of course. So whoever serves good salmon, that would be where I would go.
It would probably be mac and cheese from California Pizza Kitchen.
I've never had that.
It's delicious.
Alamara in West Bloomfield, and I really love their chicken shawarma sandwich.
What was the first car that you owned, and what do you remember the most about that car?
It was a 1987 Cougar, and I had a big bass thing in the trunk, and it really clunked when I rode down the road. I had to turn it off, like a little switch off, before I got within a mile of my house because my mom didn't like it.
A Colt, and it would stop in the rain. Something would happen to the electrical circuits that it would stop. So I would always pray, I hope it's not going to rain today.
Is there a food that everyone seems to like, but you cannot stand?
Cauliflower. I don't get it. Yeah. I just don't get it. I can't stand it. Mushrooms?
It's fungus.
What's the deal with corned beef? Why do people enjoy corned beef? Reuben sandwiches? It just tastes like it's been left out too long. I don't get it. I'll just have a steak, please.
My favorite thing about being a parent is sitting around playing board games. We've did that since the kids were probably, still toddlers. And it's always been the best time in the world.
And watching them mature into fine young adults. So, my son is a great young man. My daughter is about to graduate from MSU, and she's about to launch into a very successful life. And it's just fun to watch.
My favorite part about being a parent is watching them grow into mature adults. We're still working on that.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Can you sing part of it for me?
Yes. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows like a light bulb.
We appreciate your input, West Bloomfield. Join us again for another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
If you'd like to see some of our other fun and interesting questions on the show, you can do so anytime and anywhere by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/sidewalktalk. Coming up, we revisit some of our most interesting interviews and take a look at some of the upcoming events in our area in the new year.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monin. And now it's time for our last Civic Center event update of 2017, where we will provide you with some of the great things happening around Greater West Bloomfield in 2018. And if you'd like to stay up to date on all of the following current events yourself, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. Let's get started. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce will hold their annual ceremony commemorating the installation of board officers on January 12th from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. at Notting Hill of West Bloomfield. Join them as WXYZ reporter Alan Campbell emcees the event and Judge Diane DiAgostini officiates the ceremony. A beautiful continental breakfast will be provided. Space is limited, so get your tickets soon. The cost is $15 for members and $25 for non-members. For more information, visit westbloomfieldchamber.com. On January 14th, celebrate the life and dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with West Bloomfield High School as they kick off their annual United We Walk event. Gather at West Bloomfield High School at 2:15 p.m. for entertainment from the West Bloomfield High School Jazz Band and Drumline, followed by speeches and the annual walk down Orchard Lake Road. This year's theme is, What Are You Doing for Others? One of the many ways that you can contribute to this year's theme is by bringing non-perishable canned food items to the event, which will be donated to local charities. For more information, visit www.unitedwewalk.org. On January 27th, take a look into some local history with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society at their annual meeting and presentation on the Pontiac Asylum. There will be a discussion about how one of the foremost hospitals served patients with mental illness. It is the story of how enterprise, stewardship, and innovation created 19th century Oakland County's first non-agricultural economic engine. The annual meeting is free to attend, and you can get a brunch ticket with a donation of $15. For more information, call Gina Gregory at 248-757-2451. On January 27th, grab your winter coat and head on over to the Recreation Activity Center for West Bloomfield Park's Polar Party. The event will take place from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and will feature a number of fun, entertaining, and creative activities for the entire family. Meet Elsa the Lynx from Siberia, Sven the Arctic Fox, and more at an event so fun it will give you chills. Tickets cost $6 for residents and $8 for non-residents, and both kids and adults must register to attend. For more information and to register, visit wbparks.org or call 248-451-1900. Each year, West Bloomfield Youth Assistance holds their Youth Recognition Awards, recognizing young people from our community for their positive volunteer contributions. Nominations come from organizations throughout the community and support developing youth that want to make a difference in their community. This year's nominations will be available beginning in February, with the award ceremony taking place in the spring. For more information, visit wbyyouthassistance.org. On February 28th, celebrate some local heroes at the West Bloomfield Public Library with Tuskegee Airmen flying for freedom. The Macon Thomas West Bloomfield Chamber of the Tuskegee Airmen's president, Major Bill Burnett, will discuss personal stories and fading memories of some of the remaining Tuskegee Airmen, African-American pilots, mechanics, and servicemen who valiantly served our country in World War II. Clips from the film Flying for Freedom, Untold Stories of the Tuskegee Airmen will be shown. The event is free to attend. For more information, call Gina Gregory at 248-757-2451. Be sure to save the date for the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition fundraiser. This popular event is happening on March 12th at 5:30 p.m. at Planterra West Bloomfield. Sponsorship spots are still available, but do hurry to get your name or company on one of these sponsorship lists. Tickets are required, and we at Civic Center TV will be sure to give you ticket availability as soon as they are for sale. In the meantime, put the date on your calendar and stay tuned for more details. And on May 18th, join the Greater West Bloomfield community at Glen Oaks Country Club for the annual Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast. Celebrate the many volunteers and leaders in our community who give their time, talent, and personal resources on a daily basis without regard for recognition or promotion. You can become a sponsor for the event until the sponsorship deadline on May 4th, 2018. Tickets for the Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast can be purchased through PayPal or with cash, or a check made out to West Bloomfield Youth Assistance paid at the Recreation Activity Center. For more information, visit MichiganWeek.org. Those are only some of the many great events coming up in the new year. However, if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar, or watch us here for more information on everything going on in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Each week on The Splash, we have the opportunity to get to know more about the people, organizations, and projects that make our community great. Now we'll look back at some of our most interesting interviews of 2017.
It's just unbelievable what he's been through. So once he got to the studio and we started talking, I couldn't believe, my dad had already heard it. I couldn't believe what he was saying. Everything he was talking about was just more interesting and more unbelievable than the last thing he said. And so finally I was like, time out, Colonel. I was like, your life is a movie. We need to think about getting your story out to the broader range of people in the country. There's so much to learn from what he's experienced, all the way going back to World War II, but from before that as a child. And
in fact, actually, I think we do have a clip. Let's show this really quickly right now, a small little preview of the Luftgangster.
Luft means air. And the Germans called American fighter pilots Luftgangsters, air gangsters. They would depict American fighters as gangsters from a German point of view.
Now, I think another good thing about you, Greg, is the fact that you're also giving back to your community. You know, you've had a great career, but you also want to help out young kids who maybe want to, one day become the next LeBron James or the next, Steph Curry. And you're doing that through a basketball camp, and it's coming here to West Bloomfield, correct?
Right. I have several basketball camps that we run every year in different parts of the community, the metropolitan Detroit area, but one of our camps is at West Bloomfield High School. We'll have boys and girls ages 7 to 17 the week of August 7 through 11, 9 to 3 each day. It's a great basketball camp, and the thing that we like to emphasize is that it's not just basketball. I decided a long time ago that, when we have an opportunity to be impactful in the lives of young people, we're going to make sure that they understand sports are great, but sports are a privilege. Mm-hmm. Your education is essential. So we mix the two. We marry them, and we demonstrate to them every single day how sports, academics, and athletics can coexist, must coexist. I'm living proof of that because I had sports at the highest level, but it didn't last forever. I'm doing what I'm able to do right now and continue to find success because of my education. I make no qualms about that. So that's what we do with the boys and girls.
You mentioned earlier as well Art Sale, and I'm curious to know, what is Art Sale? Is it something local? Tell us a little bit about what it is and what the purpose is.
Well, thank you for asking. Art Sale is a Keego Harbor-based community co-op. We have artists of all sorts of different types, people that make jewelry, people that paint. We started a little over 2 years ago, so we're relatively new. And we are just looking for people in the greater West Bloomfield communities, such as Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, of course, to really come out and not only experience our shows that we have. We have an upcoming show in November that will be great for your holiday shopping. We have Art Sale in the park over the summer at Keego Harbor City Hall. And we're looking for people to come out and support the arts, but we're also looking for artists who want the same opportunity to express themselves and participate in a like-minded community where we're able to share ideas as well as responsibilities that come along with being part of a co-op.
We combine the two based off a love story, Doc and June. Doc has his general store, and June has her kitchen, and the history behind it started all the way back in the 1930s. 1930, 31, I can't tell you the exact date because we don't know for sure, but Doc Harper had a pub in this building called Doc's Cloverleaf Inn, and his wife would come in, and apparently she was known for having fantastic pies. And previous to that in Denver, Doc had a grocery store in the 20s. During the Depression, he was known, as rumor has it, to hand out groceries on credit and never collect the debt. So after the Depression, the capital was able to gain from that grocery store, bought him this bar, and we kind of heard this love story and wanted to recreate it a little bit. We knew that was our concept, Jen and I, and Brian Yaffa, who also is our third partner, and do something cool with it. So we gave Doc his grocery store and his deli back, and the other 2/3 we gave June the kitchen. We aged them a few years, and now we're sitting at June's table in the 1960s, and if she were able to afford 7 different meals in 7 different days, what would they be? And let's throw some modern ingredients into it.
This is a current piece. I'm learning to make beveled pieces, so this is not thrown. This is constructed from slab. But one of the interesting things is these markings on the side that you can see are my fingerprints from when I hold it and dip it in the glaze. There, it feels like this. So I'll dip it in the glaze, and it creates those little marks from where my fingers are. So the mark of the hand of the potter is actually part of the glaze. And people can use them as pedestals for other things, but in general, most people just use them as art objects themselves.
The West Bloomfield Transition Center is a post-secondary program for students 18 to 26, and felt the need 7 years ago to create a a program where students are developing meaningful job skills. And so through a grant through the Autism Society of Oakland County, we got a grant to start a micro business. Originally it was candy wreaths, and we've evolved into soy wax candles and goat milk soap.
Wow, amazing. And this is all the micro business is called Dream Crafts, and the purpose is to empower the students, it sounds like, or the young adults there.
Sure, yeah. It empowers them. It creates meaningful work experience during the school day, and it's a job that all levels of my students can participate in.
It's so nice to see some old friends and revisit such interesting topics. We look forward to talking with more interesting guests in 2018. As we head into the break, stay tuned, because afterwards we'll revisit some of our favorite moments from Minute with Nature, Parenting on the Go, and The Biz, and celebrate Greater West Bloomfield's unsung heroes.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Sheena Monin. Each week on the show, we are graced with the expertise of many of our community organizations, experts, and businesses on our segments Minute with Nature, Parenting on the Go, and The Biz. And now we'll take a moment to revisit all of the interesting topics they taught us about in 2017.
So without pollinators in our world, we wouldn't have more plants. Who are pollinators and who does all of this work? Well, bees and butterflies are the most common when you think of pollinators in the nature world, but moths are also pollinators, bats in different parts of the world are pollinators, and birds can be pollinators too. A lot of times snapping turtle eggs are used as food for other animals, so you will notice some nests that have been dug up and they become a really good food source in the spring for raccoons. Now, if you do see a turtle crossing the road, more than likely that turtle is there to make its nest or go back to the wetlands after laying its eggs. So please make sure that if you see a turtle crossing the road and you want to help, that you continue to face it in the direction that it's already going. The state game mammal of Michigan is the white-tailed deer. The white-tailed deer became our state game mammal in 1997, and that was decided by a 4th grade class. They found out that there was a white-tailed deer in every county in Michigan, and that's why it makes a great symbol to be represented here in Michigan. And that's your Minute with Nature.
Kids find themselves, quite honestly, using the internet on a daily basis, and they can find themselves in some pretty tricky situations. So it's important for parents to have these discussions. For example, when your child reaches the driving age, you don't simply flip them the car keys and say, here's the keys, here's the car, gas is on the right, brake is on the left, dinner's at 8, good luck. What you do is you sit down and you talk with them. You talk with them about the rules of the road, how to approach an intersection, how to look both ways, what the signs mean, on and on and on, because you want to teach them to be a safe driver.
You know, highly treatable. That's the best way to think about social anxiety. It's highly treatable with the right therapist, with the right combination of medication and therapy, with making the individual participate in a way that's meaningful to them so that they can make the changes in their lives. You want them to have the tools.
Civic Center TV salutes West Bloomfield area businesses with The Biz, where local entrepreneurs share their unique insight and knowledge on a wide variety of subjects. The Biz is produced with the support of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. It's time now for The Biz.
The
HIIT training workout, which means we're going to bring your heart rate up, we're going to take it down, right? And that's going to offer more fat burning. But in addition to that piece, you're going to get strength components in that because you're hitting a 100-pound bag. But then just go back to the technique alone. Everything that you do comes from your core. So now you're isolating all of your core muscles. It's about 1,000 calorie burn if you care at all about that. And of course, it's lean muscle mass because, again, you're hitting that 100-pound bag.
It's important to floss because when you're brushing your teeth, you're only getting certain areas of the teeth. So a tooth has 4 sides and then the top. And so when you're brushing, you're only getting the front and the back and the top. So that's 2 sides that are not cleaned at all with the toothbrush. So it's important to get the floss in there to get everything out that's hiding from food particles. Even if you're flossing, you don't see anything coming out, you're getting out bacteria, and that's helping to keep your gums healthy from gum disease and also from cavity.
A holistic diet is really kind of an all-encompassing diet that includes fresh meats, fresh vegetables, fresh grains, and is really a whole and all-inclusive diet to be able to take care of a pet in a holistic way. So that holistic approach and really thinking of it, taking care of not just one specific need in their diet, but the pet as a whole. So you think of the ingredients kind of being something that you would serve to your entire family at a big Thanksgiving dinner.
I think it's difficult. Again, this is from personal experience as well as guests that we've talked to. They just get sick of what they're eating. They think that all there is salads and raw veggies and similar items. But we feel Freshii exclusively can offer a wide range of healthy items.
And already local workers and residents are welcoming Freshii to the area in search of those healthier options.
Full episodes of all of our segments are always available on our website at civiccentertv.com/on-demand. There are a lot of people in Greater West Bloomfield that are contributing to our community and bettering the lives of their neighbors every day. And each week on The Splash, we honor one of our area's unsung heroes. We can think of no better way to finish off the year than to remember all of the people that are doing good in our community. These are our People of the Year. If you know someone who is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate all of your suggestions. And that's going to do it for us this year. But remember, you can watch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 5:30 p.m. or throughout the week for replays. You can also watch every episode online at civiccentertv.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook under Civic Center TV 15, YouTube at Civic Center TV 15, and on Twitter at Civic Center TV for more information. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Sheena Monin. Happy New Year, Greater West Bloomfield. Thank you for watching The Splash.